Hello everybody and welcome back to the Monguli Show. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the best reworks in Marvel Strike Force history with the Sinister Six. This is an amazing team that they've really made all that much better, and for a lot of good reasons. I want to talk about why this team is so good, what it could potentially mean for the future, why it's one of my favorite reworks, how we're going to dominate war with this team, how to best split it up into two separate teams, everything you're going to need to know about these teams in the next couple of minutes. So let's get right into that, but before we do, if this is your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps this channel out immensely. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you want to hang out with me live, we go live on Twitch a couple of times a week. That is twitch.tv/The Monguli Show. Come check us out over there. We're usually live on a Saturday morning and a couple of times throughout the week as my schedule allows. Other than that, let's get right into this and check out why Sinister Six is one of the best teams in Marvel Strike Force right now. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is realize that we are not just taking these 10 members and splitting them up into the recently reworked and the Superior Six. We're actually going to mix and match it a little bit. We're going to have Team Charge and Team Slow. What that means is on Team Charge, we're going to have Electro, Shocker, Gobby, Lizard, and Dr. Octopus. Now, the nice thing about this is because we've got Shocker on the team, that means we're actually going to be pulling Vulture in as our summon. So we're free to put Vulture on the other team, so we actually get to double dip with Vulture, which is absolutely incredible because he has one of the strongest reworks going right now. He's just an incredible character, and we're going to use him twice. Now, it is worth mentioning these are both war teams, or at least that's what we're going to be talking primarily about today. I think they'll do okay in Cosmic Crucible and other areas, but war is what we're focusing on right now. Now, we're not going to read over every single piece of everybody's kit. That would just be a really long kind of a dry video. We're going to focus on the things that really matter and make these teams shine really well together. First off, you got Dr. Octopus, and his special is going to apply 3 charged to a maximum of 10 to self and all chargeable Sinister Six allies. Everybody on your team is Sinister Six, but not everybody is chargeable, so this is only going to affect certain people. You're also going to be able to summon in a character, and since we've already got Shocker on the team, that means you're going to summon in Vulture. The bigger your Dr. Octopus is, the bigger your Vulture that you summon in is going to be, and he's going to do a ton of damage and give out Drain to everybody, which is just fantastic. You're also going to be able to apply 3 regeneration for yourself and all your allies, as well as flip negatives for all Sinister Six allies, which is all of you. With your passive on your turn, if you're charged, you're going to gain 1 deflect and 2 speed up to a maximum of 5, and apply a deflect and speed up to a maximum of 5 to all adjacent allies. So you're going to want him right in the center. He's a good character. You want to build him really strong, right as high as you can. I've got him at 95. I'm working on gear tier 18, and I'm not sad about it at all. I think he's going to be a strong character in DD6. He's going to be a strong character in war. Put him dead center. Make sure that he's adjacent to as many people as possible, and you're going to be laughing. When he blocks, he's going to heal himself and all Sinister Six allies for 20% of this character's max health. So again, the bigger your Dr. Octopus is, the stronger your entire team is going to be. This is priority number 1, Doc Ock to 95. In war, when this character has a chargeable Sinister Six ally drops below 20% health, fill that character's speed bar by 100% and clear heal block. That's huge because this character is going to be healing your characters. You want them to be able to get healed. You're also going to gain 15% damage for yourself and all of the chargeable Sinister Six allies, as well as 20% block chance for you and all your allies, 40% max health for you and all your allies, and 10,000% resistance against offense down for you and all of your allies. Worth noting that whenever I say all of your allies, I'm just skipping saying Sinister Six 1,000 times in a row. We're only talking about Sinister Six today, so let's just focus on that. As I said, this is absolutely the heart of the team. Build him huge, to the ceiling. Like as high as this character can go, that's where you want him. Next, we're going to talk about Green Goblin, and it's worth noting that most of Green Goblin's traits actually come from Cosmic Crucible, not from War. But he is a Superior Six, which counts. He is a chargeable Superior Six, which is huge, and he does still give us some really nice benefits. He's still an incredibly strong character. It's just that most of his really good stuff is Crucible-based, not War-based. Now, he does have an ability where if this character has 1 or more Sinister Six Protector allies, apply Safeguard to all Sinister Six allies. That's really important because you want Lizard on this team, who is a Protector. Rhino is the other Protector, but he's a major part of the other team, so we're going to leave him where he is. You do want Lizard with Goblin. On spawn, Green Goblin's going to gain 3 charge to a maximum of 5, and then when this character is charged, he's going to lower the damage by 15% for all enemies, lower resistance by 200% for all enemies, and ability block invulnerable cannot be applied to yourself or any Sinister Six ally. Those are 3 huge abilities and a really big part of why he's on this team. At the end of the enemy turn, if this character has charged, attack that enemy and adjacent targets for 200% damage, apply defense down and flip speed up, flip 2 additional positives to effects to negatives on those targets, and lose 1 charged. Now, there's not a great way to give this character charged other than through Dr. Octopus, so you're not going to be doing that a whole lot after the first 3 enemy turns, but even just doing that 3 times is pretty darn good. And if your Dr. Octopus gives you a charge at any point during the battle and you can do it again, you're just laughing. He's also going to give an additional 20% health to himself and all of your Sinister Six allies. This guy is amazing. I think this is probably your second priority to get built and pretty high up. The next character we're going to look at is Electro. Now, this is a character I haven't heard too many people talking about, but it's interesting because she seems really good on this team, especially with the amount of damage she'll be able to do not on her turn. Number 1 is with her basic attack in war. If she has 2 superior 6 allies, which she always will on this team, she's going to reduce speed bar for the primary target by 20%, which is pretty good, as well as filling her speed bar by 20%. With her special ability, she's going to be able to clear 1 charge from the primary target for each positive effect that character has. This could be really, really big for somebody like a Red Hulk, where you're going to be doing some damage to them and then you're taking away their charges as well, so they don't get to do their ultimate as quickly as they want to do. That could be huge. You're also going to gain a charged when you do this, or 3 charges if you've got 2 superior 6 allies, which of course you always will, unless the battle's going very poorly. And then this is where it gets interesting. So for her passive, on turn, you gain 1 charge to a maximum of 5. In war, on ally Sinister Six turns, you gain an additional charge. You gain another charge. And if it's a superior 6, you gain 2 charges. So you're going to gain charges a lot with this character, and you're slowing down your opponents, so you're going to be taking more turns than they are in theory, or hopefully if things go well. So that's going to be incredible. Now, why do we want to have all these charges on Electro? Well, at the end of any turn, enemies, friendly, your own, whatever, if you've got 5 charges, you're going to deal 300% damage to your enemy. You then lose the 5 charges, but the next time it's your turn, your friendly's turn, whatever, you're just going to keep getting those back up. You're going to gain a lot of charge over the percent of this game, and you're going to gain 25% piercing per charge. So if you don't have the 5, you're going to be doing more piercing damage. If you do have the 5, you're going to be doing 300% damage on somebody else's turn. Like, the damage output for this character is potentially insane. I really like her. Again, I haven't actually played this team yet because I don't have Lizard, but it gets me really excited thinking about how much damage I'll be able to put out even when it's not my turn. Dr. Octopus also fills up her speed bar a little bit more, as well. He's a superior 6, who's going to be giving her just a ton of charges. I think this is really interesting. I can't wait to see this in motion. Okay, so Shocker is the next person that we're going to talk about on this list, and he's a little bit interesting because he doesn't actually integrate with this team all that well. He's got no charge mechanics to speak of, but he does allow us to have Vulture on both teams, as well as giving us a bunch of serious buffs, which is really strong. He's going to generate ability energy for everybody on his team. He's going to generate offense up for 2 turns when he does his special. He's going to give Lizard on this team 75% speed up. He's going to give the entire team 25% armor and 25% damage. He's just a really strong support piece, and I like him on this team, even though he has no charge mechanics to work with the rest of the team, which is weird when you think about what his powers actually are, but whatever. Lizard is the last character that's actually on this team that we're going to talk about. He's another superior 6. He is the protector of the team. He is an incredible looking tank doing all kinds of great things for us. He will turn on one of Gobby's and one of Shocker's abilities, but again, he does not have a charge mechanic to speak of, so it might seem weird that he's on this team instead of Craven, but I think he does enough really good things for this team that we're still very happy having him here. One of the best things about this character, at least on paper, is his ultimate ability, which is going to copy and clear all positive effects from all enemies, give them to himself, and then spread them amongst all of his Sinister Six allies, which is everybody on the team. Now, it won't do regeneration, taunt, or stealth, but other than those 3, that looks incredible. He's also going to gain taunt and immunity after he does that. So he's going to just tank everything while making the other team worse, making your entire team stronger. This character looks incredible. I mean, the skin for this character they could have done a second pass on, but on paper, this character looks incredible. On spawn, you're going to gain 3 deflect to self and all Sinister Six allies. You're going to gain 5 death proof, and if there's any Spider-Verse enemies, you can fill his speed bar by 40%. If you've got a Green Goblin Classic and he drops below 50% max health, heal this character for 30% of this character's max health and gain taunt. he's going to give all allies 50% resistance. I apologize. He's going to give superior 6 allies 50% resistance. So that'll be Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin on this team. That's it, unfortunately, but it's still super good. I think this character is going to be an incredible part of this team. All right, it's worth talking about Vulture because he actually is going to be on this team, but because he's going to get summoned in and not be part of the team from the very beginning, we don't get any of these abilities up here. But the important one is down here, where we're going to gain 50% drain and give 50% drain to all of our allies. That's huge. That's going to give us a lot of sustainability, especially with Lizard being so tanky, giving him the fact that every damage he does, he's going to get half of that back as health. Crazy strong. This character is amazing, and that's why we want him on both teams. The nice thing about this team is that they do work really, really well together, and you've got 2 different characters who have the ability to give damage out on your opponent's turn, looking really strong. Now, there's nothing about this team, or the next one for that matter, that specifically say that they have to be on war offense or defense. They get the bonuses regardless as long as they're in war. So it's up to you where you want to put them. I'm going to put them on offense personally because they do have certain traits where, like, you get bonuses if you're fighting a hero or a Spider-Verse or something like that. So I want to be able to choose where I put them so that I can make them as strong as humanly possible. Whereas if I put them in a certain matchup and you bring in villains against me, I'm not going to get some of the bonuses that I want. That's just me. If you feel like this is a better team for defense, let me know down in the comments below. Let's get into Team Charge. That was Team Charge. Let's get into Team Slow. Okay, the first character we're going to take a look at is Kraven. Now, Kraven's big game hunter ability is incredibly strong. This is his ultimate. What you're going to do is attack all enemies for 350% damage, apply 2 bleed, offense down, and slow. Now, slow is the big part of this one. You're also going to flip death proofs on each target, which is great for some of these like Black Cats who have like 9 death proofs, and you can just get rid of all of them in one go. Amazing. You're going to flip stealth on each target, so if you've got a target it's hard to hit, you can find them out. You'll then clear charged. If your opponent already has offense down, you're going to give 2 additional bleeds as well as slow for 2 more turns. That's crazy strong. Characters killed by this cannot be revived. So you're getting rid of their death proof. You're killing them and they can't come back. This is going to be great against Secret Defenders. This is going to be great against Dormammu. This is going to be great against the Infinity Watch. Although, like, if you're using this team against Infinity Watch, you're probably in a bad state. But just like the amount of things this attack alone does is crazy. Now, unfortunately, with the way these teams are built, you're not going to have 2 superior 6 allies, so you're not going to get that safeguard at the beginning of the game. If that's something you really are concerned about, you can consider switching the teams around a little bit so that you do have 2 superior 6 allies on this team as well, or put Kraven on the other team. That's kind of what I love about this rework, is that it's so flexible. There's no one right answer. There's choices you can make. I'm showing you what I want to try, what I think is really strong, but if you've got a better idea, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you're coming up with. On enemy turn, you're going to gain charge up to a maximum of 10, and for each charge that you have, that's going to give you 5% additional damage, which is incredibly good. You're also going to gain 60% focus for you and all of your Sinister Six allies, and if your enemies with offense down can't gain death proof. That's really strong. This guy is going to make mincemeat out of your opponents and not let them get revived. He's just really good. He's so good. Spider Slayer is arguably one of the weaker characters on these teams, and he's still quite good. On his basic, he's going to give offense up to the highest damage ally. On his special, he's going to give defense up and deflect to all of his villain allies, which is all of them. And his passive is going to give everybody on his team 20% armor and 20% damage. This guy is pretty darn good for what he is, and the event is going live right now if you want to go and earn this character. So go out there, spend some money, put this guy on your roster. You won't really regret it, I don't think. We talked about Vulture for the other team, but this is the team where he really shines. For his special ability, he's going to apply offense down for 2 turns and slow for 2 turns, which is incredibly strong for this team. As well as on spawn, he's going to gain 10% speed and 10% speed for each hero ally. And that's kind of what I was talking about, where I prefer this for offense because you can choose who you're going to go against. Whereas on defense, they could just run villains into you and maybe this wouldn't be as strong. When you spawn with 2 superior 6 allies, which you will, you're going to gain speed up to yourself and all Sinister Six allies. And on offense, you're going to gain speed up for all enemies and slow for 2 turns for all enemies. That sounded weird when I said it out loud, but it's just what it is. You're also going to be able to get that 50% drain for you and your entire team, which is just phenomenal. Giving slow to the other team as well as speeding up your team means you're going to be going really, really fast. And when we get to Rhino, you'll see that giving out slows is incredible for this team. Next, we need to talk about Mysterio, who is an absolute boss of a character. The rework for this guy is so ridiculously strong. His basic allows you to clear 3 positive effects, gain 2 evade, and a charge. His special blinds the entire enemy side of the field and applies ability block for 2 turns to the primary target and 1 turn for a random adjacent enemy. You're also going to gain 100,000% extra focus, so you are going to hit with this, and gain an assist from a random Sinister Six ally, so somebody else is going to get in on the damage as well. It's insane, and it's only cost 4. You're going to do this multiple times. Unless they just die first, which is also an option. His ultimate ability is going to flip all positive effects on all enemies. You're going to apply heal block for 2 turns and disrupt it for 2 turns to all enemies. You're going to summon a mirror image for each charge you have to a maximum of 5. And this attack also gains 100,000% extra focus so that you're going to hit more often than not for 350% extra damage. With his passive, on spawn, you're going to summon 3 mirror images. You're going to gain 2 charges, you're going to gain immunity, and you're going to give your entire team 2 deflect. You also stop your enemies from gaining immunity, and on death, you're going to summon 3 mirror images with 2 death proof. And on top of that, one of them has your special ability, which is to blind everybody, which is really dumb. If any of those mirror images die, you gain stealth, your entire team has 20% max health and 20% extra focus, and you have 80% extra focus. This guy's S tier. Like, he's so good now. It's just kind of insane, especially in war on this team. He's going to do great things for you. All right, and Rhino is the part that really makes this team sing. On his basic, you're going to apply defense down. On his special, you're going to gain taunt and clear a negative effect from yourself and each adjacent ally. On your ultimate, you're going to gain 75% speed up, as well as give taunt to the enemy that you're targeting, just so the rest of your team can actually hit them as well. But it's your passive that's just insane. You're going to apply defense up and counter to self and all Sinister Six allies. If you ever get blinded, you're going to clear blind and another negative effect from you and all of your allies, as well as fill your own speed bar up by 100%. In war, enemies with slow cannot gain charged. This is insane. This is going to ruin Red Hulk. This is going to ruin Spider Weaver. There's any number of characters this is going to do wonderful things against. I can't wait to try this. I cannot wait to get this team built up a little higher. My team's not as strong as it needs to be yet, but once they are, this is going to be so much fun to play around with. You're also going to gain 5% damage per hero enemy, which you get to choose if you're fighting heroes or not, and 25% max health per Sinister Six ally, and you've got 4 of them, so that's 100% max health. So double your health. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, Rhino does care about having adjacent allies, so you definitely want to put him in the center of the battlefield. And there you have it. 1 overarching team turned into 2 incredible war teams. What do you think? Do I need to mix and match them a little bit more, change them up a little bit? I know some people are just going with Rework team and the Superior 6 team, but I think there's more interesting things you can do than that. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think. But what I really love about this team is that what it potentially means for the future. We were just shown Nightcrawler, and we're talking about this new Extreme X-Men team, which is just another team, right? Well, some of the content creators are hinting pretty heavily that Gambit and Cyclops are going to get reworks and be part of this team as well. Could we possibly see an X-Men team like this Sinister Six, where you're going to get enough reworks to make people viable, but you're also going to get this really strong new team, and maybe you can mix and match them as well, so you can make, like, there's what, like 50 X-Men in the game at this point? You can mix and match and actually choose which X-Men you want to put on what team. I don't think they're going to get a rework anywhere near as strong as the Sinister Six just did, but even if they get a rework to the point where they're playable, like Cyclops has not been playable the entire time I've been playing this game, and it bums me out. Even if he just becomes playable and I have some choice in where to put him, that'll be huge for me. That'll be really fun for this game, and I think it's great for the community. The other thing that I really like about this team is because there is so many options, you can mix and match. It really does allow you to theory craft. Now, only really in War and maybe in Cosmic Crucible, but either way, those are 2 really good game modes, and the fact that you can kind of choose how you want to play it, they can be on offense, they can be on defense, they can be mixed and matched between them. I think it's great for this game, and I think this is a huge win for Scopely. Now, as I said, I haven't messed around too much with Spider Slayer yet, and Lizard isn't even in the game, so maybe they won't be as good as they're on paper somehow. But reading over this team, going over it, it's got me really excited. Admittedly, I am a huge Spider-Man fan, so the fact that the best rework in the game is for characters that I really, really like and want to see really helps my excitement level personally. But that's my thoughts on this team. What are your thoughts? Are you as excited about this team as I am, or are you kind of cold on it because you don't really care that much about war? Either way, let me know down in the comments below. If you made it this far, please consider hitting that like button. It really does help this video be found so other people can see it, as well as it makes me feel good about myself, and really that's worth it all on its own. Also, consider hitting the subscribe button. At the time of this recording, we are 18 away from our goal of 500 by the end of the year. If you want to hang out with me live, you can do that at twitch.tv/TheMongoolie Show, where I am live on Saturday mornings and once or twice throughout the week as my schedule allows. Unfortunately, I will not be live this Saturday morning as we're going out of town, but usually I'm live Saturday mornings. Come check that out. Hit that follow button while you're over there so that you know when I go live. Other than that, commanders, go out there and spend your gold for this event. Get your Spider Slayer, get him nice and big, try him out on these teams, and let me know how he does for you. And as always, good luck to you.